Guys, Donkey Kong Bananza is now out. It is like the second high profile Switch 2 game they've released. That's actually a new game, not a remaster, and also not a tutorial. And it's also arguably, to me, the game that's going to revive the attention around Switch 2, because obviously I know people are like hyping it up because of Mario Kart World, and now it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But also hype up those who are fans of Donkey Kong, because obviously Donkey Kong's not really received a new game in like since 2014. I know people will argue, no, he had the Mario vs Donkey Kong remake. Yeah, it's a remake of a Game Boy Advance game. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD Remaster is a remaster of the 2010 Donkey Kong game. So really the last new Donkey Kong game that wasn't based on something was the 2014 game Donkey Kong Country Returns Tropical Freeze. So to see that they've actually, brought out a brand new Donkey Kong game, and it's actually a 3D platform reminiscent of Donkey Kong 64, just not as like heavy as a collectathon, because obviously that they kind of worked against that game's favour, because there was just so many collectibles in that. It was just so hard to really beat. I mean, it does annoy me that, there's not as many playable characters as Donkey Kong 64, but obviously it's Donkey Kong Bananza, so it's kind of an interesting idea, interesting game as well. Yeah, I'm just genuinely kind of hopeful that this game is great. This game is great because obviously I need to obviously get my own copy of it. But genuinely from what I've seen, it seems like a really fun game. Seems like a really enjoyable experience. And also, let's just be real, this is like a high profile game we kind of need. We kind of needed like a major Donkey Kong game to obviously show that the franchise is still alive and wow, and show that there are still a huge fan base for this game. But also we needed this sort of game, this like big 3D sort of platformer that would have signified to the Nintendo fans like, hey, no. The Switch 2, it's more than just the Mario Kart machine, because let's be real, a lot of people probably just bought Switch 2 for Mario Kart World and have kind of like played a few games of that and not touched it since. Now we have Donkey Kong Bonanza. We actually have another high profile exclusive game worth playing on the system, which makes, to me, obviously, gives me some hope, because I know we have other games planned this year. Obviously, I know we have like Kirby Air Ride 2. I know we have like Pokemon Legends EA and Metro Prime 4, which, yes, they are cross-gen games, but, it's nice to have them come to Switch 2 as well. And we also have, I believe we also have, I can't remember what the other one was. There was another game, Drag X Drive, I believe it was the wheelchair basketball game. I mean, I don't think that game looks that fun. It looks kind of boring to me, but, it's an eShop game. Might as well check it out as well. But yeah, it's just, I'll be honest, Donkey Kong Bonanza is just kind of the hype for me, because it's just like, this is like the first 3D Donkey Kong game in like 20 plus years. It is also the first major first party 3D platformer. It's the first major first party 3D platformer for Switch 2, because obviously it was made by the Mario Odyssey team, and obviously we haven't got a Mario Odyssey equivalent yet. Obviously now we do with Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's quite nice, because obviously Donkey Kong doesn't really get that much time in the sun anymore. Like, he was the original Nintendo mascot back in the day. Then obviously Mario took off, and they're like, okay, no, maybe we'll use Mario instead. But, it's nice to see Donkey Kong kind of get his moment again, because he, like, I've noticed over the decades, he has his moments every once in a while. Obviously the arcade game for the first Donkey Kong, then you have like Donkey Kong Country series, and then you've got Donkey Kong Bonanza. But like, there's like been like, let's be real, for the last like decade, he's had really like nothing, which is kind of just awkward, isn't it? But I'm glad that obviously they're actually doing something with him now, and they've given him this full-on 3D platformer, which is a follow-up to Donkey Kong 64 to me, because obviously the last one we had a proper 3D platforming game for Donkey Kong, and I'm just glad to see that they're giving him a shot. And hopefully it revives Switch 2 sales as well, because obviously there has been talk that Switch 2 have like fallen off in sales, but we will see. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, turn notifications. I've been EC, and I'm signing out. Peace.